Hey, how's it going, you guys? This is Albert from Alberto's Towing. We're currently towing an H3 45 2016 bus. So it's nothing too crazy here. Show y'all how we do it. Now, the first thing you normally want to do is you want to make sure you have all your cones set up in the correct place. This way none of your cones get hit. I see too many people when they're loading or they're doing anything, they're just realistically not using too much common sense, and it ends up paying a lot just to have basic common sense when you're doing stuff. So I'll show you guys what I'm doing here with the cones in just a second. You want to make sure you have your cones far out apart. So that nobody hits your cones, right? Each cone is like, I don't know, maybe 35 feet out from the first cone, another 20 feet out to the second cone. Setting up your cones like this in an angle that gives plenty of traffic enough time to move around you saves you your cones. It's a crazy one, but it's a crazy one that I see people break all the time, right? Is cones. It's preventable. You do something like that, it gives you a little bit of space. Yeah, let's get one more piece of wood. Oh, there we go. All we did is lift the system here from the D-rings. We haven't pulled anything yet. We're just chalking some wood under here so that when we set this thing down, we can go ahead and hook it up to the axle so we can get this thing towing. Obviously, we gotta do the leveling valve and we gotta do all of that good stuff. Is it good on the other side, Chris?
Yeah.
That's good. Go ahead and boom down. Okay. I think we might need some high forks.
Higher fork?
We might, but let's just try it out. Go ahead and stretch out.
Higher fork?
Do we have a higher set of forks?
Yeah.
One thing to consider is the bus sits at 12 feet 4 inches currently at the current height. So we have to figure, you know what, we can't really surpass 14 feet in height. That gives us about 1.5 feet of room to work with. A little over 1.5 feet, but realistically only 1.5 feet. So we got to do the best that we can to make the most out of the space that we have here, so that when we lift, we're not lifting too high up into the air to get this thing where we need it to be at. All right, had to cut the camera out for a little bit just while we load it up. So we double picked it in the front. We got the front already hooked up, right? We just hooked it up straight to the axle. We got plenty of underlift reach to do it. You don't want to stretch out your underlift this far out, but you ain't gonna break your back busting out bus bars or something crazy like that, especially for something like this, you know. So this is perfectly fine. We're gonna go ahead and chain it down, throw some safety chains, and we'll be on our way, good to go. Hey, I'm gonna adjust the leveling valve.
Okay.
If you want to get the front, I'll start fucking with the leveling valve. Okay, all right. I would like to add on a little side note. On this bus, there's probably some kind of air fitting under here potentially to quickly air up these buses. And we haven't been able to get that latch to pop open. But what we were able to find is just the air tank. We just hooked up straight to the air tank. Makes it nice, quick, and easy. We just gotta find a way to tie up this cable so it doesn't get left dragging on the ground. Hooks are the right way. If this breaks off, it's gonna put pressure there. You always want pressure to be put right there on that outer angle. Okay, all right, so we put the air fitting right against the air tank. Again, you know, tow police, forgive me, because I already know somebody has a comment coming for me on why didn't you just go to the quick connect fitting on this bus. We weren't able to unlatch the front part for whatever reason. It's stuck, so we ended up just running it to the air tanks and then just ran 2 bungee cords so that we don't have it hitting the underlift. You know, we're gonna be really careful coming back with that because, you know, we don't want it to hit, but that's probably the best we can do for now, so that's fine. And then we'll just leave a little bit of slack on this side and we're good to go. So last part we're gonna go ahead and get through. Now is going to be the leveling valves. We already have this truck filling up with air. I like to grab these little bolts and put them in the person's cup holder so they don't get lost. Okay. We got to get to this leveling valve here in the back, so I just need an adjustable wrench, which I just had in my hand somewhere. Hey, can you pass me the adjustable wrench?
The prison wrench?
Yeah. Thank you. That works beautifully. I'm gonna have to set this GoPro down, or you know what, Chris, you want to come in so you can see what I'm looking at? You come in over here on this side so you can hold the camera too and then see what bolt I'm about to knock out. Everybody can see what's a little bit. So once that leveling valve is ready to come off, so that leveling valve comes off, and then I just lift that guy up. That's all that I gotta do, because if I go down, you can see that the bags are ready to drop. So we just lift that leveling valve up. We grab a zip tie. And we just go ahead and pin it up. That's the best I'm gonna do for that. 'Cause I've been messing with that leveling valve for quite some time. So now the only thing to do is to go ahead and do the other side. So I'll have to figure that out. I'll get back to you guys in 2 seconds, okay? Okay, so we made sure we had the tag axle down. So we have that guy currently dropped. We went ahead and released the brakes. So this guy's set to go now. We're just adjusting this side leveling valve now, popping out those axles, and throwing our turn signals in the back, adjusting height. We'll be back with you guys in 2 minutes. Okay, all right, back doing the second side. I got Chris banging it out right here. Looks like he already got that bolt off. We're almost off. Now, one thing I will mention is improvising. Improvising and you're on a tow truck, you're a liar if you tell me you've driven a tow truck and you've never improvised while you're out on the field. Okay, we ran out of zip ties. I got duct tape right here, and duct tape's what's about to hold that leveling valve up until we get back to Orange County.
Duct tape's always for the win.
It is. You didn't put it so high that it's gonna touch the suspension, right? The bag? Let me see. No, it's good.
Yeah.
That's perfect. Okay, all right. So with the use of the flashlight on my phone and that, we can see this is the piece the leveling valve hung off of at one point, and now that's that leveling valve. And we tied it up with some duct tape all the way up there to get the suspension to sit as high as possible. So that's going to be as high as we can go with that. This doesn't do anything. All that does is hold the leveling valve in place to where the bus is currently supposed to sit at. It looks like Chris went ahead and moved along and started checking for the drive line. You think it's possible to knock out that drive line?
No.
There's not enough space to compress it?
No, because they got the U-bolt on top of the dry line.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Let me check it out.
You want to check it out?
Yeah, just to see if we can get
It's
it
like
out.
the U-bolt that goes like on the leaf springs type of thing. Go for it.
Alright, this drive shaft's going to be a little pain in the butt to get it out. One, we should not have crawled under it without breaking it first. See, these airbags are a little dry rotted. I'll show you the other airbag, a bit dry rotted. This drive line has to come out, and when it does come out, there's no room to really get it out of, you know? It's really short. I'm not saying it's not possible to get it out, but it might just be easier on this side just to pop out those axles. It avoids us the risk of crawling under here in this tight spot, and it makes it a little easier for us to stay clean and dry. So you know what? It's a win-win to go ahead, tie up those axles. Hey, what city are we in right now? Right now we're in Castaic, California, right?
What happened?
We're in Castaic, California.
I think so.
Yeah. Somebody's gonna correct me on that too. But bottom line short, a little bit on the outskirts of North LA County. The nice thing about those cheap cardboard ones is they have a little rubber gasket that's always on them. You can get those for free a lot of times behind trash cans and stuff. Like at dealerships. These normally don't cost money. Just throw the bolt on there. Don't worry about that. But take those little spacers off. You put them with the spacer on?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't think it matters too much. Oh, it's just tight. It really doesn't matter. I mean, I just put them on with bolts on, you know, or a little spacer on there. Honestly, it's just a small gasket just to keep the oil from coming out. I mean, emergency, you can always just use rags if it really comes down to that, and just stuff the center with rags. Preferably you want to cover like ours, you know, so that it's nice and easy on there. Ooh.
Chocolate factory.
Yeah,
Really want
for
one.
sure.
Have you tried it?
Absolutely.
You too. Have you tried it?
Hey, is the front axle already tied up?
Yeah.
Okay, nice. All right, the guy Chris is missing one bolt on the bottom. Again, it's not a huge deal, right? It's a small cover. I mean, it just keeps it sealed. To have it 100% perfect, a little bit unnecessary. Toss me the gun. I'll start breaking off the next side. All right. I'm not gonna pull it out yet until I get the little tray. This way, when this thing plops oil, it doesn't plop oil all over the ground. You want to keep the oil controlled to the best of your ability. You're out on the road, it's not going to be 100% perfect, especially when you're moving job to job to job. But you know what, as good as perfect as you can get is as close as you want to get, you know. gonna be back with you guys in 2 seconds. All right, 2 seconds are up. Chris is back here, and we're currently removing that axle out. This side didn't have a whole lot of oil, but you kind of figured it's leaning that way, so a little more oil is going to be plopping going that direction on that other axle than this axle.
You want to open that throw in the other exit?
Yeah. Oiga, camarada, ¿tienes el llaves por otro lado? ¿El llaves?
En el otro lado.
No, la otra, la otra. Now, do what you want to do with the axles. I mean, I personally always recommend to leave them in the customer's truck, commercial vehicle, because I'm not going to put an oily, greasy axle like that in my truck. There's no point of doing that. And then I might forget it too. And my drop-off location is far away from my base. It's a lot of dead miles I got to drive back just to drop off that axle. So unless it's a motorhome or an RV, like a real nice one too, they don't have a special compartment for it. If you can put it under a trash bag and put it in there for them, awesome. If they don't have a special compartment for it and you don't have any trash bag, put it inside of your tunnel box. You don't want to damage somebody's $500,000 motorhome, $1 million motorhome. Put it inside of your tunnel box. You're charging extra for the service anyways when you get something like that. Just store it away, and then just remember to take it out when you get to the drop-off. That's my best advice that I can leave you. Now notice when Chris puts it back on, he doesn't use too much pressure. I mean, it's really just to make sure the bolt's snug on there. It's not going to come loose. The actual fun part is going to be getting drag lights back here, because I don't trust this for crap. There's nowhere really to tie a drag light on, and this is all fiberglass material, you know? It's sensitive material that I just don't want to hook something up onto. Or I would hate to hook something up onto. My bad. Nonetheless, drag bar has to make it on. So I will figure that out and get back to you guys in 2 seconds. Now, last thing I did want to point out was we're back at the front axle of the truck, or doors right behind us, is the way we chained it up. I mean, it's just a regular G100 chain, I believe. This is 3/8. This isn't 1/2 inch right here. It's not as thick as 1/2 inch. We just tied it, looped it back into that little D, and then threw a ratchet down the middle to kind of just secure everything. Don't be one of those guys on YouTube, or don't be one of those guys just in general that ties down loads with axle straps. You know what? You're really gonna trust I don't even care if the axle strap is rated to 10,000 pounds. I mean, axle straps or any kind of tie down straps, it's fabric, it can rip. It's, you put a chain on there, grow up, be a big boy, put a chain, ratchet, tie it down, and you won't have any problems, Especially if you binder it nice and tight. again, you should have no problems. You know, this isn't light duty towing. Don't be a little kid. Make sure you adjust your stuff properly. So I had mentioned that this thing sits at about 12 feet 4 inches, and I have the high-rise forks that adds about another 6 inches. So right off the back, we're about 12 foot 10 if we were standing on the ground. Our max is 14, so we want to be about a foot high. I go ahead and lower that down, right? My system's lowered down. I lowered it down a little bit. Go ahead and check it up. I'm gonna boom up just a bit. Right there's okay. We have enough drag between there and there. You normally want to keep your crossbar nice and even. This crossbar should be more even, and I'm actually going to end up doing tilt up a little bit. I'm going to have to tilt up a little more because of that air hose that's in the way right now. So I might have to accommodate that air hose or fix it up a little bit because I can't be riding with it this high or this up. So give me 2 minutes again and I'll let you guys know how I adjusted that. Hey guys, back with you guys. Okay, so we're able to fix it. We got this bumper to be able to open up. These bumpers completely come down. We fed that air hose all the way through there, out through that wheel well to that air fitting. So if you guys can see it clearly onto there, that's how we kind of fed it. Safety chains are fine. Chris, I want to go down. Now your full down should always be all the way down. The only thing you should be playing with is your tilt. So if I play with the tilt, you want to have the crossbar even. On this case, it's going to have to be a little bit on the upside, just because I want to make sure I clear those plastics as much as I can while still being low to the ground. I'm about a foot off the ground right here. Lowered it down just a little bit, and that's about a foot right there. So I'm about a foot up. I should be no more than 14 feet high. Everything's been done correctly. Axles have been plopped out. Air's been fitted. The safety chains have to be adjusted. The way I personally adjust safety chains, they go like that. I should be able to push it with my feet without it hitting the ground, but it being really loose.
Maybe borrow the zip tie? The bungee?
There you go. What for?
I'm gonna make them a little shorter so I can have turning ratio.
That's fine too. A little more.
A little more.
Adjust that so you have a little more tighter. Okay, there you go. That's good. That doesn't drag, and on this side it doesn't drag, but we still have extra slack in case he needs it on emergency for the churning. We do that because those chains were ran so far in. Every time he churns, those chains might want to get really tight. So that's definitely a pro tip right there to help you guys out, so you guys don't ever mess up your guys' things. We got pretty much everything cleared up. That's gonna go in their trash can.
Oh, the light bar.
Yeah, if you want to get that, I'm pretty much gonna go ahead and start picking on up. None of my cones got damaged or hit. See that? I still have all 3 of my cones, and I know plenty of companies who chew through cones left and right because their drivers don't know how to set up cones. Something as simple as that is what keeps your cones alive. Okay, all right, YouTube. So we got everything picked up. You know, We got everything just about ready to go. There's our little DTU unit. Our sides got crashed, but we're gonna fix that one day. Right now, we're currently just throwing on a little brake buddy. I'm not gonna explain to you guys how to put on a brake buddy. That's pretty standard, and you can go to Brake Buddy's website and they'll show you how to put them on. You know, they almost speak for themselves. We got our cones picked up already. None of our cones were damaged. This is the way we ended up strapping it up. It's not strapped through here, that's just a loose piece. It's actually strapped in through here where we can't see it. We had the straps running there. There was a little point where we were able to anchor inside of there so that nothing gets damaged, no paint chips off. This really can't move at all. Again, to keep the paint from going. And then the only part where it'd be rubbing from is right there. So we went ahead and put some soft rags there. Just that bottom one, that's okay. Axles have been pulled. Truck is aired up. Safety chains are on and adjusted. And you know, here's our safety chains. Everything's adjusted. It's not going to hit the ground, but we still have more stretch when we need it. Hopefully that strap doesn't break, because again, it's dry rotted. I'll show you a little bit of what Chris has to do here with the brake buddy. Did you just flip that guy around? All right, I guess it really don't matter too much. And that's just so we have brakes. We're going up and down some little hills right now, but even some little hills with this high center of gravity, and it's already a heavy bobtail as it is. You know, better just to throw a brake buddy on it now so that we have plenty of stopping power, you know, in case we get one of these idiots that wants to brake check us or something. Only happens here in California. I wasn't going to show you guys the brake buddy, but I guess you guys can tell it's pretty simple. That bottom piece attaches to the foot pedal. This top piece attaches right there. And that's pretty much about it.
Try to check it out if it works.
All right, YouTube, we're all good to go. Thank you guys for watching. Have a great rest of your day.